I honestly have two first priorities. Number one being removing Dr. Veritas as our sole health authority here in Tom Green County. We can have a board of multiple doctors from multiple specialties who can work together and use science, real science, and have conversations about what would be the most effective thing to keep our community safe. And I think it's something that the Commissioners Court and everybody involved in 20 failed on miserably. That's too much responsibility for one person with no added insight or conversation or anything. So that would be number one, first and foremost. It's an easy thing to do. It would be quick. And the second priority I would have would be trying to figure out if we can move Commissioners Court to a different day. I don't know if y'all know, but City Council and Commissioners Court are at the same exact time on the same exact day. So as a commissioner or as a citizen of San Angelo, even Tom Green County, we have to choose between figuring out what's going on with the Commissioners Court or what's going on with the city. We don't have the option of doing both aside from watching them live stream down the road, but you miss something big time for not being there.
My three main things are revenue, roads, and resources. I want us to grow our revenue creatively. I want us to maintain our roads efficiently, and I want us to maximize our resources effectively. But I will be the new kid on the block, and I do not want to go in there guns blazing, ticking people off, trying to tell somebody how to do their job and what they should be doing better until I know a little bit more about what's going on. There's a lot of, just like when we go to court meetings, we get an agenda. There's a whole lot more information that those commissioners are getting than just a simple itemized printed agenda. We don't know everything that happens. I'd be willing to bet that our health director does not make those decisions by himself. I bet there's a group of people that come together and talk about it all, and he's the voice and he's the final say with the support of the judge.
I think I agree with Lori that when we come in, we will be the new kids on the block. Well, you wouldn't, Mr. Ford. You've been there a little while. And so, the first thing we're going to go in, if we're trying not to go guns a-blazing, but, we're going to grab about the tax rate. The tax rate's set probably a year, and it'll be set, and we'll have another year by the time if one of us takes office. The thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn to the people of the precinct. Go and visit them. I'm also going to be a full-time commissioner. Nothing else to do but to work for the precinct, the constituents of Precinct 4. Find out what they need done. There's projects that are on the tax rolls right now we're working on. I don't have all the facts about them. I just know they've been going on 7, 8 years on one-year projects, things like that. I'll turn to the people of the precinct, find out what they need done and what they can go. Then I'll go back to the court and we'll work on figuring out how to do it out of the budget.
We all know money drives everything. It all boils down to the mighty dollar. And like Mr. Ford mentioned, I know it being on the school board, you have to, they require more and give you less money. And you have to get real creative. You have to dang near find the loophole in what they're requiring and find a way for that to generate some income. That's it. There's so many things that need to be done, and the only thing I know to do, it's like eating an elephant. You got to do it one bite at a time to conquer it.
So my first priority is getting in there and getting a handle on what it is that this budget is doing for this county. I'd like to spend time on where the money is going, what it's doing. It seems like, I believe that we've got 80% of the budget, about $50 million is my understanding. 80% of it is going towards salaries. To me, that seems excessive, but I want to be clear with that. I think there's got to be some fat on that bone that can be trimmed, but that has nothing to do with law enforcement. Completely support what those guys do, and so that includes the jail as well. So it's just getting in there and figuring out there's got to be areas that things can be trimmed, figure out what those are, and make a move towards that.
Right now, I think I'm more concerned. I'm not so much concerned with the money issue because I think we've got a budget that's solid and we have an auditor that's one of the best in the state, if not the best. And so I'm gonna go back. I think our safety is an issue, and that's where I'm gonna be pressing real hard to make sure that these things come about. We have a $73 million jail. It's full. It's overflowing. We got people, 45 of them out in the other counties. Now that's going to change with the magistrate court and with the public defender's office. But how fast that changes, I have no idea. But that's an expensive thing. We can't even man the jail we have with enough jailers. And that's an expensive deal. We talked about $40,000. That's not enough. And we have to, my priority is going to be to find a way to find the funding to get some of these, you call them priorities. Well, these things are just the way it is. And we have to fix some of the things we did. You can talk to our county treasurer and you can see that some of the things that we can't control are these unfunded mandates. We've got a indigent care situation that is overwhelming us. And man, they got creative. They've been able to find the funds to help it. But if you think about what we have in the situation where someone comes to our jail and they're placed in under our care, so to speak, and 95% of them are indigent. Now they stay there a week or two, they're going to become indigent because they don't have a job. Now, all that we have to take care of is their mental health, their physical health, everything that goes with it, their meds, everything that goes with it is our responsibility because that's the law. And so those are the mandates that we get handed without any funding from the state to say, here's your money, here's you're going to pay for this mental health. So we got a lot of hurdles coming.